As well, Virtus.pro versus EG. Jack, this could be a lot of fun on paper. I'm looking at it going, whoa, I like this because EG have come back. They've looked pretty good and they've won a tournament finally and they're going head-to-head with the 3-time major champions of the season. No pressure, no worries.
Yeah, I think there will be some fan interest in this game. I think people are looking forward to
Just
seeing,
a little bit.
If EG has recovered from the last, again, getting really sick, traveling around, kind of trying to get back into form for this tournament. We saw that exciting win over Thunder earlier, but you're starting to see some issues, I think, with like coordination and some of the team play. It's been a bit of an exploitable point for them, so we'll see if they can get that together. And then Virtus.pro, obviously, they couldn't get over the EG hump for the longest time, but now they look unstoppable.
There's been a little bit of history between these two blitz, and it's normally EG that have come out on top until we got to Katowice.
Yeah, I mean, VP has been on some kind of roll lately. Like, they have been dominating. They won back-to-back events. They look very solid. Nobody's really gotten in their way. The last finals they played, I think they won 3-0, right?
Yep.
Versus VTJ. I mean, this is a team that was very good with Lil and somehow look even better with Roger.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like there was a long turnaround time. He was only on that team for like a month, and they're just like, well, by the way, we're the best. And we got even better. So everybody, you got put on notice. But I mean, Secret in that last game looked like they could compete as well, so who knows? But
they've already qualified for TI as well. I wanted to ask you, three of you, as we head towards the draft in a moment, how do they react to that now? Do they play even looser? Does that mean they're even more scary? Do they experiment a little bit during tournaments? I mean, how do you think they're going to approach this? Or do they just so single-minded right now? They just go, nope, another tournament, another win.
I mean, like, they technically qualified, but they knew they were getting to TI, right?
Sure.
Like,
but once they've mathematically done it, they can do whatever they like now, surely.
They knew for a while that they were getting to TI, but I mean, Winter should know this too. There's still a lot to play for. Prize pool money, pride. Like, you don't want to be a team that goes into TI looking weak. Like, you still want to go in with good momentum. Because even if, and I hope you know, I think you realize this too, is like, even if you say like these tournaments don't technically matter, they really do.
Yeah.
Because they matter from like a team morale point of view. Like, you still want to feel strong as a team.
Yeah. Team morale is very, very important. If everything doesn't feel right in the team, then it's going to translate into your play. Then you're going to like make mistakes, uncharacteristic stuff that you don't do normally. So it's pretty important, I would say, like, and obviously the money. Winning the prize money.
Money helps, doesn't it? And, and all the other teams just behind them are all cheering Virtus.pro, and if they can't win, then Virtus.pro should win because it means they don't lose so many points.
I think if there ever is that kind of complacency, it's something that you might see in the behavior kind of between tournaments. So, you know, maybe players relax a little bit. Maybe they don't work as hard.
Right.
Maybe they don't grind the same amount. But when you actually get to the tournaments, like, nobody's going to have that mindset of it's okay for, you know, for us to lose or for us to just mess around. Especially because, I mean, this is such an emotional game, and it can be so damaging when you start to pile up the losses. You start to doubt everything. All the cracks just get exposed that much more. So no one's going to be okay with kind of, you know, we'll just do whatever in these games, regardless of what they do in between the tournaments. And we saw basically 4 of these 5 guys still go and win WESG. They're obviously still going to be able to exert themselves, and they're still going to be quite
They are
strong.
really, really hungry.
Yeah, they do seem hungry still. Right, let's get into the draft because we've had a couple of picks. What do you make of this so far, Blitz?
Chen Tiny, very aggressive combo. I think the Chen sendback is just insane. Like,
Now, why do you get to send back creeps?
I don't know. The send.
This seems rather abusive, doesn't it?
When you see send back and when it's used well, it honestly just looks straight up.
I mean, it's partly also because of the diffuser nerf that made the sandbag, because you have less tools to deal with the sandbag right now.
It's not cheap to deal with the sendback right now. Like, Nullifier, that is an expensive item.
Use is a cheap. But then you can send back through BKB, then the use doesn't do anything.
Yeah. So, Jack, you must be familiar with this opener from EG. They use it all the time.
DKA.
Yeah, Liquid used this quite a few times as well recently. I mean, it's just like, so the DK obviously gives you lane flexibility. You can kind of throw them anywhere, similar to the Tiny. And the AA is just a good natural combo as well. You have the setup for it. You can still burst down just about anyone. So, yeah, it's a pretty freaking opener.
AA doesn't do anything to the creep, though, against Chen. It's great against the heal, but you don't do anything to the creeps early.
Yeah.
You get run down by Chen.
They ran this, like twice against DC recently. I think in the MDL qualifiers, like this was their opener.
Was it against the Chen as well?
That I can't tell you. I was looking through their games real fast. 'Cause obviously DC's not here, so I didn't really focus on.
5 seconds remaining.
So they ban out the Lifestealer. Lifestealer is like a very strong counter towards the Tiny.
Oh,
The Doom, that's the one I was mentioning earlier when there was a Chen. Like Doom could be a good position for a hero to follow the Chen around.
yeah.
And
I like that disruptor pick.
Eat the creep.
Tell
Disruptor's
me what
like
they have done with the Doom, by the way, is run that as a 3.
hmm.
It's been a Samael hero for them before, as well as a crit
I
hero.
guess it's a flexible pick
Yep.
for them.
Okay, so Jack, you told me that a player of yours before in the past said that he did not want to play PL against Disruptor,
Yes, yes.
but you just picked it into it.
I'm not gonna name names, but
Banana Slam
obviously
Jama.
you're able to no you're able
Just
able
like
to,
that, huh, winner?
It's not just him. I've heard people say that it is an annoying. It can be an annoying hero to play against because if you do use the dop walk ahead of time to create illusions and you can't really get away, the static storm is very annoying and just kind of stops you from moving around in the fights. But it's I would say that obviously the PL pick after seeing the supports here, he's a bit fearless about that.
Did you learn something there, Jack, as well? Did you learn something about Winter there? Did you learn something about the
That
fact
was
that you
great.
never tell Winter anything?
Yeah, he actually just tossed that out. I was trying to be coy about it. I at least gave people like 8 options to choose from.
Yeah, I've got to be careful who I fiend with these days.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
And don't play Werewolf or Mafia with him. He'll just pretend to be the Tanner even when he isn't.
EG's turn to ban.
Oh, that is a troll.
Yeah.
Very good
Kind of
matchup.
ironic, really.
Good matchup against the PL.
Yeah, you like it? You're very fast hero, and you get Roshan early too.
I mean, that's another one of the things that Chen
mean-
does, right? Other than bullying the opposing safe lane, you can take Roche very early on. It's very hard to contest.
Yeah, and he's like one of those carries that doesn't really care too much if you get Doom. I'd say like you're just still gonna right click and sit in the fight and hit people.
But the tools to kite him, obviously you have the PL is there. You have the Dragon Knight as well. It's not going to be easy for him to chew through. Does he have to go Silver Edge as well as part of the itemization? I'm not too sure. The other way to think about it is when you're dealing with the PL, if you don't have like kind of AoE wave clear for the illusions, you just want to be able to threaten the real PL as soon as possible so that he can't attack and create illusions in
Battle
the fights.
Fury. I guess Battle Fury this game for the troll.
Yeah, I think it's okay. Because they don't need him to get any specific item to Roche. Because they have a Chen.
Yeah, and Tiny
he's
can
winning with
can make space for the team.
Yeah.
With a Shadow Blade or Blink.
You want to make sure that I think you scale against this PL at all times. But what hero do you think they need for Sumail? Like they ideally have some way to stall out the game and push out the waves too. But they also need a space creator. Like I was gonna suggest Pit Lord, but
Pillar is pretty good against that lineup.
They've
Pillar is
left his Beast on the table here as
yeah,
well. though.
I was gonna say Beast or Pit. I think are okay options.
Pillar is like I think maybe more synergy with their lineup because they A and Doom don't push out waves, so Pillar will be able to shove out the lanes, and I mean he's really good against Chen and the Troll, the Aura,
Yeah.
and even the Tiny.
Not something that Samael plays an awful lot.
I
though.
thought so too. The only downside, I guess, for me, like, so I immediately went to the Pit Lord, but then I also thought like don't you think they want like a little bit more, like disable and a little bit more team fight?
Pillar is really good team fight though. I think, but not every team like things are like Pit Lord sometimes is viewed as more greedy farm oriented off lane. But I personally feel like Pit Lord is a hero that can actually help the team a lot if you have the right heroes around him. Like you need fighting heroes. I think DK is a pretty good fighting hero around him because if you like have 3 cores that want to shove out lanes all the time, then you have no one making space, and Pit Lord doesn't want to be the person making space.
I think I like the Beastmaster personally because I think it allows you to play really quick around the map. It would allow you to Roshan too.
Beastmaster DK, you push towers very fast.
Yeah, and the vision game is nice against the Chen, but the OD ban also kind of leads me to believe that
Pit Lord.
yeah.
Yeah, it was protecting either.
Or are
like
they
an
trying to get
Underlord,
Virtus.pro to ban the Pit Lord, thinking that's what they want?
maybe even like a
But actually they
Tiger
don't.
or Abba as well. Doesn't fit all the same requirements that you said, but it's the OD ban kind of makes you think about.
I mean, Abba's a pretty cool hero in this game too. It would be really hard for him to
But
die.
the lane would be difficult though. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not very
So
sure.
they
about-
went for the bat. Okay.
Yeah, Bat Rider is a direct lane counter to Troll. Troll doesn't want to lane against Bat Rider. You can't do anything. It's very easy for him to kill you.
And churn rate Batrider's always good against the heroes that have to go for the auto.
Ooh. Ooh, Sniper from Virtus.pro. Not the first time we've seen that. That has been one of their more favoured, slightly cheesier picks.
It's been a while since they've played it. I think the way they play and like use the sniper is like it's so fast, right? So they don't play it as kind of like a late game like scaling matchup or anything like that, because I don't think it does that well late game against some of these heroes like PL. It's more like he becomes the 4th or 5th hero to reach the fight, often out of vision, and that just goes with how quickly they want to play, how decisively they want to take these fights, and hitting high ground as well early on.
DP.
Select your heroes.
Okay, so that Doom will be crits. So they're going to go DP Samael.
So what is the lane setup?
Artesia
They're
with the
gonna go
PL.
aggro with PL and DP mid, DK safe lane, or what? DP safe lane, DK mid.
DK is going to be the mid.
I'm not very sure about that last pick though.
I thought that meant they were going to get an offlane DK, but I guess not.
They
Nope.
could aggro with the.
I mean, they could move it
the
around.
PL.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the lanes will be much
And
easier.
then you do safe lane DP and mid DK.
Yeah.
What is the mid from? It's Sniper. I mean,
Sniper,
does
sniper.
DK care about Sniper? Don't you just get Soul Ring and then you have?
Yeah, I mean DK generally like draws against most of the matchups, and even win against some of it.
But PL versus Sniper's not bad either.
Okay, I'm going to let Blitz think about that for a moment and grab predictions from the other two men. Jack?
I think this is kind of a wonky lineup from EG. I'm going to have to go with Virtus.pro.
Yeah.
Again, just got to go with the team that's shown themselves to be elite through and through for these last few months until proven otherwise.
Okay, Winter.
Yeah, I'm also not sure with the last pick there. I think I'm gonna go with VP here.
I hate the clean sweep. One of us has to look good in case I wish I'd gone
it's
first.
fine.
Or
Yeah.
you can just do the, I want to get this right game. That could also be something.
I don't care about that game. It's about making us all look good. E.g.
All right, okay. 2 for Virtus.pro and 1 reluctantly for Evil Geniuses. Talking of Evil Geniuses, got a couple of them right now on the casting desk. Bo1 alongside a bit of a noob.
I don't know who's trying to insult. It's like trying to throw multiple punches at the same time. Presumably we're evil, presumably we're geniuses, and then he still called you a noob. I can tell you right from my perspective, I ain't no genius. I'm just a me.
Okay.
Let's go to the game. Let's actually talk about some interesting shit, not red eye. So, Evil Geniuses. We have a fun little lineup from them. Combinations looked pretty good. The panel were talking about how well PL can, or how bad PL will play up against heroes like Disruptor. But how do you feel like their entire lineup comes together with the Death Prophet 5th pick?
I'm not a fan of the DP. I think Virtus.pro is like a super easy win condition here, where their sniper is just going to get out of control. They're going to get this Blink and Shadowblade on the Tiny, and Sniper's a natural Maelstrom builder, so he'll deal with the PL illusions as time goes on. And they also have a Troll, which is just... I mean, how many times did you cast games with Troll Sniper? A couple of years back.
Way too many. Like, almost as many as we had with the Ancient Apparition Faceless Void combination, which we also relived earlier today. So yeah, we're bringing back everything this old school as far as like synergy. I'm still waiting for the old school, like, was it the tiny support tossing in centaurs kind of thing. Like then we go back. Then we go back a long way.
Yeah, I've actually seen VP use this opener of Tiny Chen into AADK before, and they usually win the games from what I've seen. I really think that Chen is like a counter to AA, so I'm surprised that EG picked it into the Chen, but we'll see how it plays out. There's also an offlane DP in the bottom lane. This is the first time I've ever seen EG do this.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they actually get like nice jump aggression from the Death Prophet. That's the thing I'm kind of tossing up a little bit more. Like if Samael can actually be a presence in these fights, and like he was with the Faceless Void previously, like you jump in with Exorcism, do you then just deal with the Death Prophet?
I mean, the issue, I think Disruptor matches up super well against Death Prophet as well. My concern is that Sumail, like, even if he gets a Yules defensively, like, he's going to land in some stuff, and then he's going to die. And Sniper crushes Death Prophet, Chen Disruptor crush him, Troll's going to eat him alive post BKB, and EG has absolutely zero save. So it's pretty much on, if VP gets initiation, I don't know how EG will win a fight.
VP's initiation seems so easy too. Like what's going to happen once Roger's able to pick up a couple of Mud Golems? We've seen just how OP that can be. But then you've got Crit. You've got this Doombringer trying to cause him a lot of problems inside the jungle. As, well, Crit's got his own stomp inside of him, the War Stomp. Can't really do much more as long as he hangs up here. He's only got a TP back. Where the hell? Okay, so yeah, Crit will go all the way back into his own base. And Roger owns this dire jungle for the moment.
They have a really nice couple of wards placed by EG. There's one just scouting out the Chen's movements if he goes into that shrine area, and another one that is blocking Easy Camp. Already missed the sentry from Solo down in the bottom lane, so they'll have control of the bottom area as well. It's actually a huge ward, because if the Easy Camp's open, the DPAA loses lane control, and then they'd feel a lot of pressure.
Yep. Alright, so Arteezy's having a good time up on top as the PL. Pasha at least is able to get a little bit back. I say a little bit back. It's 12-3 versus a 10-2 on the top. And yep, they're having a crack. It's Misery in the trees, and that Thunder Strike. Solo able to spill the first blood. Sumail trying to hold his line. At least he got the Frostbite onto Solo, so there was a little bit of time to attack him, but his attention was split between Ramses and Solo. So Evil Geniuses having a little bit of trouble with their off lane, but it could be worse.
Can always be worse. Mid lane, Sniper, about even with the DK, but I think as he gets this Aquila, he already has the extra Wraith Band just delivered, I think he starts to pull ahead of Fear. And the other issue is that Fear is going to be threatened really heavily anytime Chen shows up with creeps, and no one's level 5, level 6, because the shrapnel pressure is just so much. The DK just dies in a couple of CCs from Chen. They see him now, though, in the world.
Okay, so how can you, like, does Chen actually come into mid now? Like, can you take the pressure off the top lane and attack into the DK? Or is it more important just to do what they're kind of doing right now, which is pressuring into Arteezy while Doppelganger's down?
I think you want, like, Tiny's winning the lane up here, and you'd rather play with the Tiny against the PL than into the DK. DK is a lot like Timber, Viper. Ideally, if you have a hero matched up against him that can trade or win the lane, and in this case they do with the Sniper, you'd rather just kind of let it rock and be in areas of the map where you can impact the game more. And, oh, toss back up top.
Yep, they managed to pull back Arteezy. He's still got Doppelganger, so he can cover the trees and get back to the tier 1 tower. The Hadouken Blast us managed to connect, but Arteezy still got enough regeneration, and thanks to the one charges, has some burst regen. Solo trying to make it a little bit more difficult with Misery, but Sumail has TP'd over. But with the kinetic field going down, EG know there is no attacking into this. And it's still creating more and more space for Ramses just to have a free time on bottom.
Sumail's still winning in CS. Oh, well, he was winning in CS a second ago, but he has a bit of a wave. It's kind of surprising. You would think Troll might be a little favored in this, but I really think this ward on the Easy Camp that's also providing vision of the downhill is super big for EG. It's just that when you have two ranged heroes and one of them's AA, you just outlast hit by having the two double.
Trap up on top, Crit, he's got the regeneration from that devoured Sata, but Pasha, okay, yeah, that's a melee attack, managed to reach over towards the Doombringer and kill him off. He can still play around with Arteezy, Doppelganger is available, and 7-1 charges, so Arteezy won't be too concerned here, as Pasha has no combinations. His Soul Ring only just came back off cooldown, while on bottom, there is the battle going on with Misery, still on the run. Solo will put the wall down. He is being siphoned out by Sumail. Solo needs the life. There's your whirling axes, stopping Sumail from getting an attack into Solo, but now it's Ramses who's in trouble. One charge is just 2 seconds too late. Will lose his life on the bottom lane. That's nice of a Sumail getting a solo kill, but at the same time, Fear going down to no one. There was no other influence in the mid lane. In fact, Roger's only just now arriving with the smoke crank, and he'll find Crit instead, who has no Devour available. Nice. With the Penitence and the Assassination, Crit's gone.
I'm surprised he didn't give that kill to Nova. He checks the XP. I think he would have... How did Fear die?
I don't know. He died on the steps of the Radiant side, so... Like maybe he was trying to force the issue against the Sniper. I only caught the tail end of it.
Interesting. That's a pretty big death, in truth, because now the Sniper is going to be ahead significantly. He's already level 7, and the Sniper is the key hero for VP. I mean, if he gets out of control, like they don't have any heroes that deal with him.
Yep. Net worth-wise, he's 500 in front of the DK. But you're right, like you build into that Maelstrom nice and early, the Phantom Lancer won't be ready to deal with it.
Yeah. That's the thing about VP's Disruptor, is that the weakness of Disruptor is whenever you're in a position where you can't be like chasing down enemies and you fall behind. But VP's style is to crush early. Oh,
Roger. There's your Hadouken Blast. Crit's going to be there for it. It was a great movement, but Misery put down the Observables to get a little bit of extra information, but with the glimpse, Sumail gets pulled back in. They've still got the army of the Chen. The assassination snipers arrived, and Misery with the last little bigger damage from Disruptors with that double damage on him. And they'll find the kill underneath the Tier 1 tower of Misery. Well, Pasha, time for a little bit of a tossed omelet of Arteezy on top. He's got 12-1 charges, so again, Arteezy still fairly safe.
He's taking so much pressure up here. He's had to buy 3 extra sets of
Let's have a watch of Fear dying again. So he just got caught inside the shrapnel, walked up the hill and died. So nothing that special about it, just overcommitted.
A bit of a mental lapse. It can happen with age.
Wow. Only someone so young would say such a thing. You get stamina with age, Kyle. Stamina.
That's not what I've been told.
That's, well, how do you know? Like, you only talk to children.
What? Anyway, in the top lane, this is the strength of Tiny as a hero, and why Group A actually ignored this hero pick and bans in the first 4 matches. It was very surprising to me because this is one of the heroes that VP loves. It can be played in every lane on all of their cores, and it's just such a strong laner.
Oh, Sumail trying to keep it under Ramses. He won't have the support of Crit. Roger and Solo with smoke rotating, trying to find that opening. The War Stomp from Crit will cause some problems. As Glimpse, you know Crit's coming back into this fight. Misery wants to help him out. Sumail continues to dive in deep with the Exorcism. The Spirit Siphon causing problems for Ramses. Still got a couple of 1 charges up his sleeve, so a little bit more life going underneath the tower. There burns the 1 charges and a quick throw of the axes. So we'll slow down Sumail, allowing Pasha and Solo to finish him off underneath the Tier 2.
It's the second time no one TP'd into the bottom lane to collect a kill. Mid will take a little bit of pressure as well from Fear, but it's just a Dragon Knight right now. And all 5 VP heroes actually ended up bottom. Troll will probably go top now.
Well, if Troll can head up towards the top lane, then maybe... I suppose Arteezy's still going to be okay with this. Like, they're similar in net worth. In fact, Arteezy about 400, 500 in front. Nope, Ramses went straight back down to bottom lane, so he wants to keep farming up for the moment. How close is Pasha? Okay, so he's going another 1,500 for Blink Dagger. Ramses, well, he only just came back down to this bottom lane. He's got no friends nearby, so he'll try and make a break for the river. But Crit with that high movement thanks to Scorched Earth. No Infernal Blade available, so Ramses for the moment, there isn't enough damage to kill him off. And Solo rotating over with Roger. Crit wants to run back around. They have to wait this out a little bit longer as there goes the send back, and here comes the pull. Crit into the stomp. One more attack up the hill. Will it miss? It shall not. Solo will be able to get the connection. And there wasn't a lot that Sumail could do about it. While up on top, the Avalanche flies forward. Pasha, and they're now going to team up here with no one, tossing him the creeps. Misery will go down. Arteezy has to doppelganger himself away. If no one can get the right target, which he has done so, he won't assassinate. Oh, he will. That's only a level 1, so Arteezy will be fine, especially with 1 charges once more available.
Yeah. Roger rushing the medallion completely owns this tomb. He just picked up the armor ring on Crit, and before that, when he just died in the river, he had 1 armor and then -6 on his medallion. So like he just dies.
I think they're about to have some fun on the bottom lane with Sumail. Solo gets his TP in, Pasha will arrive, so they get the wall up with the Thunder Strike. Sumail, just stick around. Buys time for Pasha to move forward. They'll have to glimpse him as back. Oh, will they? Yeah, they do. They pull him back into the Avalanche Toss combination. Sumail, enough life with the Fairy Fire. Couple of 1 charges. The wall, it actually holds him. But Crit's War Stomp creating more space. The rotation is on the way. The Troll Trapper and the Hellbear looking for a big target, but he can't get close enough for the control onto Sumail. So instead, Fear does his rotation in through the back lines. Solo, another wall up with the Troll Trap. They're sending back Solo. They should be able to get him home before any kind of dot damage will kill him. So rotation and Dragon Form from the DK, having to come back to push off Ramses in that mid lane.
Pasha's going to have blinking at 1,000 gold, and that's going to be really VP's timing. The game is even right now, but I think EG has to be ahead to win.
No one. Too many. No one underneath the tower. He was tanking a lot, but now it just opens up. He gets both of the kills thanks to the shrapnel, but the Ramses rotation, he'll take all the experience for it. That was a heavy commitment from Evil Geniuses to try and change the fate of that top lane.
Yeah, Does it surprise you the score is 14-5? There's been a lot of action, and you wouldn't think VP is so far ahead in kills if you look at the net worth, where even though they're crushing, EG actually has the top 3 CS on their cores right now. So the game is surprising even. They don't even have AA ult yet, which should change the game a bit.
Yeah, once AA ult starts to arrive, then I haven't even really felt the regeneration coming in from Virtus.pro as Chen hasn't hit level 6. But this early pressure that EG's applied, it's stopping VP from at least just grabbing up the core items they want to get. Like that Blink Dagger on Pasha is going to be such a huge enabler. Disruptor's found so many levels thanks to the fights.
Yeah.
So Storm will cause more problems too.
Misery running around with the magic stick.
Glimpse him back in. Speaking of the Storm, Pasha comboing up and Sumail. No way to survive that. Crit was in the neighborhood, but yeah, he's a Doom. He can't do anything at the moment.
I'm kind of scared that might be a sign of things to come, where they're just going to initiate on Sumail, and he's going to explode, and then there's not getting more damage.
Walks right underneath the Observer Ward. Penitence is out. He could potentially deny himself to the Ancients' prowls, which are there, who actually stomp onto Solo. But Assassination once more from no one. That's now his 6th kill of the game for Virtus.pro.
I feel like I've seen this movie before. VP gets all their levels, their
Misery
cooldowns.
stands completely still in the mid lane, throwing an Ice Blast up on top. Obviously, attention was elsewhere. So Roger may lose his life for this. The shrapnels are coming down, and then no one, while they're locked inside the kinetic field, Sumail can't walk away. No one has a triple kill. They'll pull back Fear. The Centaur Stomp not available. Troll Trap in 2 seconds' time. Fear, he probably can't run fast enough, or can he? Crit in through the rear. Here comes your Assassination. Not enough damage. Fear will easily be able to survive this. But they are feeding the beast that is Sniper. Now 8 kills to his name.
Oh man, he's out of shrapnels though, so there's a little bit of time where they can't really pressure this too hard, because you really don't want to ever play around a sniper with no shrapnels. They're just going to let him farm, recover a bit, probably get this blink on Tiny, 200 gold away, and then they can look to make another smoke move and get a tower. Doom is up though, on the Doom, and AALT of course is available as well.
Ramses back up a little bit thanks to Cold Feet. Solo looking for a good glimpse target, and Wall comes up. They'll find both Misery as well as just the edge of Arteezy and Pasha diving in deeper with the Avalanche Toss, pulls him back into the Storm. Ice Blast is really good for Misery. It won't seal the death of Ramses, as there's still only a level 1 Ice Blast, but it dissuades Virtus.pro from chasing any further.
Game is still even, but I feel like the goal, it's crazy how little kills mean nowadays. 18-6 and the game is even.
Well, it means more on the big cause, right? Like once you... Do I dare say Disrupt is actually one of the big ones, who's 5-0-5. Goodbye, Misery.
Yeah, see, and that's after the change. I don't know if Misery's got less net worth than if he just sat in base collecting gold. He's died a lot this game. He's suffering. 1 and 8.
He's got, with the death of the tower, 666 as far as his net worth goes.
Thing is, even though the VP has 19 kills, 13 of them are the 2 supports. So the cores are still having pretty good games. It's just going to be all about
Arteezy's dead. Avalanche Toss. No one was already beating into him. Pasha reveals the Blink Dagger and gets the kill on the Phantom Lancer.
Surprised he was playing that aggressively. I believe he showed the blink on top.
He was waiting because EG's coming from behind. The Ice Blast going to hit onto no one as well as Solo. Exorcism as well as Siphon. Sumail doesn't have a target. No one went north. Roger's in the neighborhood. He could potentially do a sendback right now. Disruptor will go down while Sumail controlled up by the Chen army on the sidelines. No one has tanked through the initial start. He got sent back with the Doom on him. And it's EG who have lost 2 heroes so far. Ramses wants a piece of Fear, hunting the Dragon Knight. And they're going to, okay, just toss in the Centaur. It didn't have Stomp available.
Really good patience from Roger there. A Doom will purge the sendback, so no one's just kind of juking around the river, doing heavy damage to the Doom to prevent him from committing after the Doom, and chases him off, gets sent back, and then the Doom is wasted, and now for quite some time, Crit's main ultimate's just going to be down.
Fear knows he wants to go for this kill. Dragon Tail stun, but Pasha's in the neighborhood. Fear being glimpsed away from the TP support that was on the way from Evil Genius, but a great Ice Blast once again from Misery. Solo and Roger. Roger knows his only hope is a TP out, but Crit had the War Stomp available, so Roger will not survive. Solo, he's being protected by the Chen army, and now his own kinetic field. Arteezy, no doppelganger available, so he cannot just jump and keep the chase going. I think VP should be very happy they only lost Chen during that jungle invasion.
It could have been much worse. But again, the sniper, no TP, and just no shrapnels while the engagement was going on. So they let him farm. He's almost at the Maelstrom, which should accelerate him quite a bit. Top net worth in the game right now. And Fear does have a blink just purchased. So I look for EG to make a move with their next Exorcism in 50 seconds.
Now, this is actually one of the things we were kind of discussing during the drafting phase. Like, how does EG initiate? The Batrider was the 5th ban out from Virtus.pro. Now that Blink Dagger's over on the DK, like who is priority target #1? Like, can you lock down a hero like a Troll Warlord while he's going for the Battle Fury style build?
You can, but it's just the send back is so scary, and the only thing they have to cancel it right now is going to be the DP Yules and 300 gold. It's really what makes Chen such a, I don't want to say broken hero, but that's what makes him just solid throughout the game, where you can play around this Doom and this PL so easily by just sending back their target. And it's literally just the Doom application and the Yules that will be able to purge it for this entire game. Look for PL to get a Nullifier, probably 4th or 5th item, because that is another way you can play around the sendback. And that's going to be key for EG in this game.
It's going to still be a little bit more time. They need money for that. Kills will be one way to do it. Roger, hiding in the tree lines, put down the Penitence on Fear as he's underneath the tier 1 tower pasture. TP's in the trees, and Fear all alone. No one else was really there to help him. Sumail pops the Haster and gets the hell out. Crit was farming up bottom, Arteezy's in the jungle, and AA was all the way back at home. So
And they just finished Diffusal too. I'm not sure, like, if they want to make a move for that tower, I'm all about it, but I don't think you just dive the Chen there.
maybe they thought they can just get the quick pick, but support, like you saw the first TP, like the TP started when DK initiated. So no matter what, EG was going to be able to catch up.
They're about to hit level 12 on Sumail, and they do have the PL Diffusal, like we said, so this is close to their timing. I feel like they need to look for a fight in the next couple of minutes, because otherwise they will get outscaled significantly. Like Ramses has a Battle Fury, and the sniper is super farmed right now with 8 kills. So if they don't get something going with this timing they just hit, they've cleared 2 wards of VPs in their woods, so it's like they have a little bit of control of vision, but if they don't do something now, I feel like VP just outscales them, gets a Roche, and then they can kind of just take the game from there.
Yeah, that does seem to be the way everything rolls, but like, in order for them to get that, they need the Blink Dagger over on the Doombringer. They need DK to be that great initiator, and they need Sumail to have Exorcism ready to go. As you said, like, he's got the Yule Scepter, so he can sustain a lot more in the fights. You have your Diffusal, you're ready to fight. They have to get rid of the other aggressive wards down by Virtus.pro. There's one which is perfectly around their Trinity camp on the southern side. They dewarded almost everything else. Yeah, just that one ward which will time out in 20 seconds.
It's hard though, because whenever like all the tier 1s go down, EG, or rather EG has no tier 1s left to take, it's difficult to pressure tier 2s against VP's lineup because they have so much wave clear without really committing as a team. And the issue is that every minute that goes by, VP is out farming them by at least like 500 gold.
Yep.
And eventually that's going to be BKBs, and then they can look to take Roche. Sniper going BKB right after Maelstrom. Tiny's going to go Echo. He had finished a 4-staff recently, and Troll's probably going to get the Yasha or full SNY into BKB. And once they have those BKB timings, I actually don't know how EG can kill them anymore.
This is why EG's waiting for a trap. And they're going to be able to spring one. Roger going past the shrine, and they were under the cover of smoke. Dragon form instantly committed. Solo gets a double wall storm out. Roger, Hand of God being committed as well. Support isn't coming in. The Doom was on Pasha, so he can't just jump in and change this fight, but that doesn't stop Ramses from doing the same thing. Sumail and Crip will go down. The Glimpse pulling Fear all the way back, and Ice Blast, it doesn't even connect on the lowest hero, which is Roger.
Yep, that's the power disruptor right there. You win a fight, and because you did so, you get that bonus kill as well, thanks to the Glimpse.
Yeah, Misery. Disruptor is currently missing. I think we know where he is now. And we know where Virtus.pro is. Into the pit, into Roshan. They have all the damage in the world.
And once again, they took that fight. Was Arteezy even there?
I don't believe so. I think he was on bottom lane the entire time, still farming up the heart. I think that all they want to do is just get a quick pick and back off.
But that, how many, like VP was demonstrated they were willing to teleport as 5 to the bottom lane at like 7 minutes in. Do they think that they're going to be caught with their pants down, like at their own shrine that's active?
Good question. I'm sure our interviewer can ask EG later. But as far as it looked, though, it looked like just a quick jump in. They were ready to have the advantage by getting the Doombringer around the side. They did smoke move to go into that position, so they were 100% looking for either kill or aggressive vision. They at least got aggressive vision, so they're watching the stacking of the Ancients going on. And Crit Oh, Wall Stomp will buy him a little bit of space, but not enough. No one rotates over. Full Hurricane Pike completed with this Maelstrom, and that BKB is well on the way.
He was going to go for BKB first, but then switched it up after they won that fight because now he has Aegis. So why commit to a BKB when you can just get a Pike, scale a bit more?
Yep. Positioning's going to be a lot harder too now for Evil Geniuses. Like closing the distance was already difficult enough. Now Sniper has to disengage.
Their only shot at winning a team fight is for DP to get in the center. You kill the Chen and Doom, I would say Troll, before he can get any spells off. Maybe even the Sniper, and then you kill him on respawn. But the issue is that, like last fight, they did the Tiny, but he just doesn't matter because no one throws out a couple shrapnels and just hits them from 1,200 units away, and then you just get slaughtered.
That's such an effective way to clear buildings, having Troll Warlord.
Yep.
The fervor attack speed is just ridiculously high.
Look at the wards they have up right now. There's one to the left of this direct. Another glimpse. Oh, he glimpsed it.
Yeah, fear though with the blink. They didn't do any damage to him, so he was able just to blink away. But I don't think VP really cares, right? Like, you're going to take all these out of Tier 2 towers. What we see most of the time with that first Aegis of the Immortal, you just want to claim the Tier 2. EG is trying to get farm into the side lanes, and Sumail already blinking into the trees, has TP available. He's actually walking it out.
DD picked up by no one. He's just going to keep scaling. They're not really in a hurry. I think they probably just wait for BKB, and then they'll eventually get the fight. Troll's going BKB next as well. I think you wait for that timing before you do anything crazy. Arteezy actually choosing to go for Sanj and Yasha. I saw this work with Keen Gaming earlier today, but I am not certain that that is the item here, although...
Well, you prefer Doppelganger? He's having to run shot. That's some quick damage. Arteezy duking it out, actually gets away from the Chen stomp. The Doom is out, and no one will fall. There's only the Aegis, the Immortal. Ice Blast is flying down at the moment. It'll come a little bit late. It'll chill into no one, which means finally the kill goes the way. Arteezy, almost 600 gold for the death of no one. That's a big kill for him. Sumail, get away from Solo. He's going to glimpse him out, but Fear with the Blink Dagger and the Breathe Fire. Want to get back-to-back kills, and this will start to skyrocket up the DK.
I'm surprised no one forced that or piked himself into Arteezy, who just turned around and immediately killed him. Really heavy commitment considering how far away his team was.
That's going to be the best fight EG fans could have asked for. Like, the game was getting completely out of control. Like, we were almost going to go over the 10,000 net worth. The experience is already up at 14,000. Now both of these graphs are starting to move down and towards Evil Geniuses, and more importantly, EG can finally start claiming some of these towers. He said VP was always ready to fight. Now they're going to lose a Tier 2 tower in the bottom lane.
Yeah, but it's a good fight for EG, but they need like 2 or even 3 more opportunities like that. The issue is that fight like gives them a Tier 2. They need another that gives them a Roche, and then hopefully a Tier 3 later, but I still feel like any time these two teams meet as 5, unless the Doom is perfect with a DK stun initiating on another target, I feel like VP just pop their BKBs and all their spells and just roll over them.
Is that when you initiate to disengage? Like, I don't think Arteezy's worked out what he wants to build either. He's been switching between the Heart as well as the Blink Dagger as the item choices for this Phantom Lancer.
I wouldn't mind the Blink, but he has an SNY, so typically you really don't want to buy both on this hero. You want to either utilize the move speed, the in and out of the Doppel, or you're buying like a Blink into like maybe an Abyssal or a Heart later, but it's hard. He's going to go Heart.
Yeah.
I think that's the right choice. He just has to ensure that he's creating chaos within the fight so that his team can land his spells on like the right targets after he provides vision and some space.
Do you actually, like, after you have the tank, do you just create even more problems in the fights by going something like a Butterfly as his next major item, or do you tank up even harder?
He could buy like a Scotty.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's hard because you really have to deal with the Sniper, but the thing about Sniper versus PL is that at a point, if he can't clear your illusions because they're too tanky, you don't care about him anymore. And then if you get on top of him, he's going to be Scotty slowed, and you can actually continue to hunt him even if he pikes away. So in that sense, I would agree that that's the play here, especially when you consider both Sniper and Troll are natural MKB heroes. So the moment you show you're going Butterfly, they're going to counter it with MKB, and it's going to be effectively nullified. I think a Nullifier is going to be really big on him too. So I actually wouldn't mind like Heart Blink Nullifier perhaps.
Okay. That'll give him the initiation they want, but then you also see Sniper building into a Lincoln Sphere. Like, no one knows he needs to have that defense kind of style. Ramses will have more maneuverability going for a Blink Dagger.
Yep. This is a really good Linken's game. There's very little they have to cancel it, and the Blink Doom or the Blink DK stun are all he really fears, and he knows he can't dive. His team cannot afford to let him die before BKB. And if he gets that off, he should be fine and get good damage.
Yeah. And you rely on his reflexes to understand when that's done, or at least something that's going to control him is on the way. Especially said like when there's very little that EG has to trigger it.
And Chen, 1 point booster away from the Aghanims. It's going to be a big item. Oh, no, sorry, he had it on him. So he actually finished the Aghanims. He can get 2 Ancient Creeps now.
Well, he's got a couple to choose from.
Oh, it's the Dragon.
Yeah. Push time. Evil Geniuses are grouped up once more on the top lane. This time around, Arteezy is there. Sumel's a little bit further back, but he's got Blink Dagger, Phase Boots, Eul Scepter, so he can move pretty quickly. And Arteezy does have the full heart now on the Phantom Lancer. And VP, they're looking to fight the jump in. Ancient Apparition is already gone. You did commit the Storm, however, a glimpse crit. Okay, he's pulled back into both the supports of Evil Geniuses pushing up the daisies. And VP were very willing to fight that. The Shrine was up. They kind of wanted EG to run at him.
Yeah, that was actually about as good for EG as it could have been. The issue there with their team right now is that Death Prophet's running around with 7 armor and 1600 HP. So if at any point he's attacked by this troll or the sniper, like he will explode. And I'm not quite sure like what he buys to survive here.
It's going to be Shivas after BKB, right? Because he has to deal with the Storm with all the magical damage which is coming out from Virtus.pro first.
I think he might want an Aeon Disc, to be honest. I don't know if he'd get to Shivas before the game ends. And the second Roche timing for VP is going to be the key. It can spawn in 30, has to spawn in 3 minutes 30. And if they get that Aegis, I feel like they can just walk high ground and win the game. BKB on Troll has been up for a while. He's got Sanj and Yasha completed. Now he's buying a Blink. And I expect them to just immediately dive for this AA or Death Prophet. And I don't know how they'll live.
Well, Evil G's need to do something about it. Pass just having a good time in mid, just forcing the lane out. Arteezy poking and prodding.
Really good ward placed.
Yeah, Observer and Sentry down, just in case there's anybody else nearby. There's no invis, like we're not running Shadow Blade on anybody for Evil Geniuses. And Solo, actually with that Observer placement, they can get a really good glimpse back. Crit, still hiding in the tree lines. Hoping to attack, Pasha in through the rear. Oh, the Storm. It actually locked in Arteezy. He couldn't get back out of it. Disruptor way too quick, allowing Ramsey to move a little bit further north, pushing Fear. And with a BKB, you'd think it'd have some strength, but the BKB is gone, the strength is gone, and most of the EG players are gone as well. Sumail brought down no one with the ultra kill. Space was more than created for him, just sit in the back lines. And with all 5 players down for Evil Geniuses, this will probably be mid-racks. No buybacks on 3 of their cores.
Really well played by Solo. Drops the Disruptor ult. Ramses immediately blinks in and just bashes him in the face.
He moved like you're trying to go for the tier 4 towers. It's just like, yeah, bait. Bait the fact that they're trying to go for the full GG. And he dodges the Ice Blast.
I think that might just be game. They're going to glyph, but this is like now an unwinnable advantage, or unwinnable disadvantage.
Even if you come up, there's no Exorcism, there's no Dragon form. The Phantom Lancer showed that 1 Storm is enough to control them. But Virtus.pro are happy with what they've got. They've taken a lane and a half. Okay, never mind. The Ancient Creeps are on bottom lane, finishing off the range rack. So, yeah, it is actually a lane and a half. Full lane on the bottom. Lol. Eul's a Granite Golem. That's a big gust of wind to pick up something that fat.
Indeed.
I mean, big boned.
Yeah. It's such a strange... I still don't know how much I like this DP last pick from Evil Geniuses. I think that's like the main issue at the moment. However,
can you at
VP's
least understand the
lineups are
logic
so strong.
for it? Like it's just meant to be put like the overwhelming push power, right? Like DK and DP together.
Yeah, but then they played away from the PL diffusal timing for like 15 minutes, and it seemed like they were waiting for this like heart timing to look to battle. But by then they're 10,000 behind, and
2 shrapnel charges already committed by the sniper. The jump in onto Solo, a quick 4-staff and a secondary 4-staff. Solo is away from the initiation. Arteezy, he jumped in, but the Storm once again. There is just no fun for this Phantom Lancer, and this may just be it right now. They cannot secure Roshan anymore, and there it is. In fact, Misery will call it. Evil Geniuses defeated in 31 minutes by Virtus.pro. You can question the picks. The panel can do that, of course. But, man, Virtus.pro, they looked good. They moved great.
Yeah, they
Their
played.
timings were good.
They played really well. I mean, it's Sniper Troll, right? They were the top 2 network for quite some time in that game. They both won items that would accelerate them, and they just crushed. And if you look at their they're not even breaking a sweat.
It's just
Another day. Yeah.
That's just another day at the office. Like that's a very, very simple game for Virtus.pro. It was the easiest one for no one, 17-6. Not a bad way to actually have a KDA. And then 2-4-20 for Chen. Even Troll had 20 assists in that one. It's just that's an easy game for Virtus.pro. Didn't break a sweat. They'll have all the energy in the world, and of course the energy people. Our panel full of energy, apart from Red Eye.
Yay. Go, Toby. See, we do have energy on here because we're back at the panel once more to break that game down. Thank you, Toby. Thank you, of course, to the noob caster alongside me. I should clarify, I didn't mean he was a complete noob. It's just a noob at casting. Did a very good job in our first game. We'll go back to those two after this one. We'll break that down with our panel members once more, and we'll start with Blitz. Pretty straightforward victory for Virtus.pro.
Yeah, I think that when you play Sniper in a game like that, and you don't have to rely on the high ground aspect of it, and you can just continue to roll, the game at that point just becomes very one-sided. And EG they were down like 22-8, and they were still only down like 1k gold at one point. But at some point, VP's like, oh yeah, we're VP. We're just going to keep rolling you.
Yeah, Jackie made that point, didn't you, before the game? They don't play the Sniper in the same kind of passive way that other teams do. They do like to push on. They do like to get in your face with him.
Yeah, instead of picking it kind of for like a late game matchup or something that's really annoying to deal with, they just play it super fast with everything else. So again, by the time the Sniper is there, he's the 4th or 5th hero sometimes to the fight, or he starts it. You just have like, it's like an additional presence that you maybe don't have to TP in that can assist from like a little bit further away.
It's this kind of distance as well. It's really annoying. He's got lots of damage. He just keeps chipping away at the damage, and eventually you've got to make a choice. Do we jump on him, or do we get out of here?
Yeah, and there's not a lot of options, I think, from that's why it seems a little bit wonky for EG, because they're not the best at being able to start fights either, or necessarily get on top of the Sniper until the PL has farmed.
I mean,
so.
that's because they don't have like a if you compare to VP had like a tempo controlling offlane, like a tiny, whereas EG, they chose to go for the lane pressure offlane. Like offlane DP is like offlane Razor. You choose to win the lane, put a lot of pressure there, but you're not going to offer too much in terms of starting fights or, you know, getting your team into a game, back into a game.
Would you have preferred Samal on something different?
And what were our suggestions before?
I was trying to
We were
think.
talking about the Beastmaster was still open. It felt a bit like Virtus.pro were playing into that, though, didn't it? They were kind of like baiting them into taking that. They banned the Bat as their 6th ban rather than banning out the Beast.
Yeah, I think SK was banned too. And I mean, they banned the Bat Rider because they didn't want to play Troll against Bat. Because Bat does dual function. He wins the lane and
he has the tempo control factor. DP wins the lane, but he doesn't have the tempo control factor. He's going to have to rely on, I think, DK. Like, Fear didn't really have like a really good game on the Dragon Knight. They are counting on him to like create the space, like do what the Tiny did for VP, but he wasn't able to do it this game.
Yeah. That's why I feel like something like the Beastmaster would have been better. Like, they can win bottom and just like constantly threaten with Roar.
I think they were figuring that maybe with the DP gives them like more carry potential on Sumail. I mean, maybe he prefers to have those kind of heroes more than the Beastmaster. I'm not very sure, but I'm with you that I feel like Beastmaster would have created the situation where their lane is going to be good and it's going to offer them more in the mid game.
Yeah. Plus this Doom, it felt like this hero didn't do a lot. Like you saw in the clip right there, like every time he tries to Doom the Sniper's like
send back.
Yeah.
Or he kills you first.
Yeah. He didn't really care.
Or he just tanks it and
yeah,
just like,
he's
sure.
a sniper. He's like, I don't really care if I'm not casting spells.
Yeah, but his spells were really strong early. Like you guys mentioned about the Sniper being really active in the game. It was because of a lot of like he was using the shrapnels, and he was at one instance bottom. The troll was getting dove at the top, and he was TPing to the fight to help the troll. Like the Sniper was just basically doing so much for his team.
Yeah, impressive indeed. We'll take a look at the scoreboard, which is bad reading if you're an Evil Geniuses fan, because it's very much top-heavy as far as this is concerned. Virtus.pro picking up some very notable stats. No one better than no one. 17, 2, and 6 with a 28k damage as well. So great game from him. Anyone else stand out for you, Jack?
I think obviously, like, it was no one would put on a clinic in terms of getting himself positioned, rotating to the right fights with his team constantly to be able to secure those towers or just provide that extra little bit to push the fight over the edge in Virtus.pro's favor. But got to credit Roger as well. I mean, you give this guy the Chen, and you know what you're going to get from him.
Starting to build up a nice repertoire of heroes that you don't want to play against Blitz, isn't he, Roger?
Yeah, I mean, the Chen, he's been one of the better ones. It feels like, I don't know, like, it doesn't feel like VP loses anymore. So, I don't, what are you supposed to fear? What's supposed to be good for them? The lines are all just getting really blurred.
Yeah. They've lost just 11 games in the entire DPC.
Cool, that's a really small number.
It is. An incredibly small number.
It's like, what, like 2 games a month or something?
Yeah.
So
That is unbelievable. I actually didn't even know it was that.
Considering they've played in 9 of those tournaments as well.
So it's across
quite extraordinary.
across what 7 months they've
Yeah.
lost 11 games.
In the actual lands, in the DPCs, there've been 16 tournaments. This is the 16th tournament of the season, and they've lost 11 games. Yeah.
It's a pretty good team.
Quite crazy. Their overall record across the entire DPC is 52-27. So they've only lost 27 in the entire season. Go all the way back to the very first tournament of the season as well. So, yeah, not very many defeats at all. And I guess we still have to search to find out, how did they get beaten? What's the key? Jack, tell us.
Well, there's too many.
It's
There's too many
impossible
threats,
question,
right?
I know.
You have to ban you have to worry about what heroes do you let Roger play, which
Yeah.
is like set the tone. Everyone has a deep hero pool. Like maybe one of the things they do is they go back to remember that summit where they just picked a different lineup every single game. Maybe they're in that mode, and so they can play these heroes. Their coordination is there. That it's like even if you outdraft them somehow, like you still have to be able to outplay them as well, and that's going to be such a challenge. For
I don't think you can care so much about them though. If you really want to beat them, you focus more on yourself because there's just too many things that they have.
No.
So
So
you-
focus on yourself
You just need to make sure you do your job and play to your strengths.
and then still get beaten.
I mean, then you give it your all.
I guess, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point. Yeah, someone's going to have to come up with something very special to beat these boys, that's for sure. Next up, we've got another match, of course, just around the corner. Our 6th match of the day. And next up is very intriguing indeed. We see the return of the SEA boys from Mineski, and they go head-to-head with the team who are legendary as far as Dota 2 are concerned, but will be playing in their very first game of the entire DPC season. We'll see how IG get on very shortly.